Well, hello everyone, Dylan here. Happy Throwback Thursday, and our rotation leads us to a Star Wars review, and this one's on the Republic Gunship from 2013, of course. So, on the front of the two manuals, which has the Lego Star Wars logo and the border from time and picture of the set in action flying down on Geonosis and set number 75021, and also to note that if you get this set all brand new out of the box, then that these two of which come together in a bag with a sheet of cardboard to prevent it from like getting all rumpled in packaging, which they did carry on into the rest of the year as well, which nice to see there. But yeah, and on the back side is advertised, and then how to win on the online survey, and then add a Lego club and all the minifigs included in this wave, of course. And then halfway through the main section, and then the second manual, which little online code for the website, which no longer active, and then advertisement of all the other Somersets from the time, and then little promotional poster of the Jabba sail barge, which is next Throwback Thursday, and the Scarlet Pit from the year prior, of course. And then all the features of the set and all the pieces that come in the set, of course, which is actually a few pages. And then the last building stacks. And so now on to all the minifigs included in this set. Okay, so first off for the minifigs is Jedi Knight version Obi-Wan Kenobi, which all the torso print, leg printing, quite similar to most versions that we've had over time for that, but also the hairpiece in that nougat or ginger color, nice to see, and of course wielding the blue lightsaber, and also the face printing, also quite good for how it is. But yeah. And then next is Padawan version, or just about Jedi Knight version of Anakin Skywalker, which the torso print, leg printing, all quite good for how it is, and also the little Jedi braid on there, nice to see, and face printing, kind of good for how it is, but however the hairpiece of which is the same problem that as Hawkeye and the Marvel sets tended to have, where just not at all where it's like this when it just kind of sticks up in the movies for that. Not sure exactly why that is, but whatever. If he were done nowadays, I would expect that. But yeah. And of course, wielding the green lightsaber as well. And then next, which is the young version of Padme, which is quite exclusive to this set for that. Well, just for the torso print and leg print for the torso printing and face print. Not sure why exactly her expression is kind of a smiling expression when in this whole sequence in this movie, which should it be like more aggressive or whatever, but whatever. And then also, and of course, wielding the blaster for that, since it's wartime, it should be a little more aggressive for how it is. Well, if they did this fig again at some point, I would expect that. But yeah. And next of which have the clone pilot of which. Yeah, clone pilot of which. However, where the torso print and the helmet printing quite similar to the Clone Wars variant of it, but however, still kind of good for how it is with the small Republic symbols on there. And then also do have a clone trooper commander, which, and what really stinks is like the ATTE in this wave for that, where it's just a single clone trooper in the set. Wish they could have included an extra one of it. And, well, even though maybe because there was also the battle pack in the earlier half of 2013, but yeah. But also all of the blaster for that, kind of odd for how it is, where it's just the rifle and then the Technic pin piece on top of it. But luckily they eventually fixed that with the newer style candle piece in 2020. Well, at least maybe that piece didn't exist yet or something. And then underneath both of them, you have the at first well working, but also annoying angry clone face for that stood around until 2020. But yeah. And then last of which is the Super Battle Droids. Well, the versions that have been used since about 2002. Yeah, or just since 2002 until 2015. And for that, well, do get two of in this set for that. But also, and of course, these one joints unfortunately kind of cracked off over time for that. But luckily, the newer versions from the Clone Battle Pack from 2024, which kind of fixed that and also got new design to it. But yeah. And then as for the back torso printings on each of them, all of which quite good, and of course Padme's which with the large scarring from the Nexu, which from the Geonosis set, or from the Geonos Arena, well, and of course a different smiling expression still with the beauty mark in the corner, and of course all of which do have double-sided faces, which also expressions like this should have been on Padme in this set. Well, but maybe if they redo this in the future, they'll kind of include that. And also, but also I think, well, these three things, well, especially Padme, would make good sense in a set like this. Makes good sense in a set like this, but also would make sense in an actual set of the Geonos Serena if Lego ever makes that. Well, hopefully at some point they'll do that, but yeah. And now, onto the actual set itself, the Republic Gunship, which, as you can see, just like the ATTE from this wave, of which third version of it that there was, where like the first version, which was which was put out in 2002 for Episode 2's release, and then again in 2008 for the Clone Wars movies release, and then this is actually remake of that. And unlike the ATTE, just went away for that. But then we got the Clone Wars Coruscant Guard one in 2023 for that. But this was kind of kept the same coloring as the first two versions. But yeah. So like as for the front kind of section, which like the other two versions had the like ball turrets around it. Also same with the Republic dropship with ATOT set from 2009. That is. And then and the color scheme was starts lime green and then turns to white and then turns to dark red on top. And if you get this set brand new or anywhere, please keep in mind that these dark red or lime green pieces might be kind of brittle on and crack apart on you, which some folks that got this and other sets kind of did that. But yeah. But then as for this like midsection where where this kind of opens upwards, and then you get some extra flick fire missiles, which at this time, 2013, it was kind of the main shooting weapon for that. Well, until the following year, 2014, introduced spring-loaded launchers and stud shooters and so on. So, of course, sign of the times, but yeah. Then this upper section, and this kind of section, which is quite tall enough to like stand a couple of figs onto, of course. And then into this section, which does have the fall turrets that like come in and outwards, and then these like half dome section, which if this were done nowadays, I think a better piece for this could be half of the gyrosphere from the Jurassic World line for that. Well, just a thought, but yeah. And you can like fold it down and a couple studs to sit a clone trooper onto, of course. And then it goes up and downwards. Then as for this back section, which as you can see, it's highly coated with plenty of studs, but also like mixed plates for that. Well, and like the other versions, same thing for that. Well, although I think a better way is just have it all studded. If you are to fill it with clone trooper or figs, they would have plenty of room to stand on. Again. Then as for these doors, which do open and close, also like the other versions for that, but whereas for this particular version, you're probably going to say, why don't the doors open all the way? Well, this particular version, which comes from the Venator, then the Venator enters the atmosphere, and then the gunships come down. So this kind of gunship doesn't go into space, because a little thing to keep in mind. But although the Coruscant Guard versions kind of got that fix of going all the way, so of course like that, just to make more logical sense of that. And then also backwards do have what are the couple of cockpit pieces, which different than the first two versions of it, but which kind of kept from the like Atlantis theme from 2 years earlier or a few years earlier, and also enough space to fit your clone pilot fig into, of course, and also all in there nice securely, and then of course mostly just a bunch of jagged slopes going upwards, and then very few studs there, and then also that technique beam, which is actually the handle part, which pull on that and nice to carry around and swoosh around, which, and of course this when they started getting more common with those handles, which is great to have around, of course. Then as for these wing sections, which have the large jagged slope with a sticker on it, and it says of course, but luckily do get few stickers in this set for that, and then curved slope going on for that, and then also do have a couple other cockpit pieces, which same as kind of, or just the same as the ball turrets in there, but can like lift right up, and a little space to fit a clone trooper onto, and then also a little stickered tile for the control panel for that, and close right up for it, like so. And then as for the back section, which has one of those ball joint pieces that makes the door come outwards again. But yeah. And then also this like one tile piece right here where you can like pull right down, and then do have a little speeder bike for Anakin to sit onto and ride around onto. And this builder, which kind of similar to some speeder bikes that we oftentimes have there. And then the upper section, which has kind of the same back turret, but it's on a construction ball joint rather than like a Mixel ball joint, since those, even though those got introduced the following year, of course. And then this top section where you can like flip right open, and then see just a pair of large slopes and enough space to fit all their weapons into. And then also do have some of these Technic cylinder pieces going outwards to be like the upper gun sections, and then also same with this top section with cone bits to it. And you wonder, where's the other one of it to that? Well, kind of dropped it during transport of this review. Sorry about it, but yeah. And then also do have this little section that is comprised of mostly the foot-fire missiles, which have mainly blue and also trans green for that. And of course, why there is mostly for the playability factor, since this was the last year seeing that all over. And of course, and also same as the 2008 Republic gunship, where it was like that. But luckily, the 2023 Coruscant Guard one, which got rid of that and fixed that with stunt shooters on the wings for that. And also, just forgot to say is these little upper sections you can open and close and kind of fit various things in it, like extra studs and such. But yeah, or clone gear as well. But yeah. And so now on to the final verdict. Overall, this is which a really good set for how it is. Like, it's a whole gunship for that. Well, last version that we get that has been around, and then barely saw much for a long time. But yeah, however, the playability of which quite good for how it is. And as for the minifig selection, wish Padme would have been a lot better for how it is, and also wish there could be like an extra clone trooper or to like man one of the turrets and so on. Even though you could have gotten that from the battle pack in the same year, but yeah, well, or at least from the few years earlier, but yeah, regardless if they were Clone Wars or whatever, but yeah. And then also, as for the $120 that it was at the time, which kind of fair frown as well, even though that which was just about the same as the 2008 version was, well, and of course, it did get $10 more for the 2023 version. But however, but I can still kind of forgive this one for how it is. Well, although the size of which also quite similar to the first two versions, but at least you kind of got a little different version of it, or different bits added into it. And although it doesn't include the bath tank like the 2008 version kind of did. But however, but of course, this which was for episode 2, that one was for Clone Wars. Well, obviously, but yeah. And of course, if they did this particular version yet again, I think it would probably be just about as good as this, but with stunt shooters or spring-loaded launchers, obviously. But yeah, and also I would expect it to include like a couple extra clone troopers, obviously, like the 2022 ATTE kind of did. But yeah. And now, if any of you still have this set from back in the day, well, I hope you had some great memories of it. And for those of you who haven't and are still looking to get this set, like for your clone army or Geonosis mock or just whatever, then definitely pick it up. eBay, Bricklink, Mercari, or Bricks and Minifigs, whatever. And that is about it with this video. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching.